All right, what's up, fellas? Let's get after it. It's freaking Monday. It's time for Wake Up Mintzy. We got Dude Wipes. We got Stella Blue. We got a lot of football talk to get into after just a massive weekend. Tons of stuff to get into. Joined by Tyler Moody, as always, from Louisiana. We got fantasy. We got gambling. We got a huge Monday night in sports, by the way. I mean, what a gift from the gods. We got a doubleheader, NFL, huge matchup at the top of the NFC, Tampa Bay at Detroit at 6, Houston at Seattle, interesting game at 9, and one of the best words in sports, Game 7, ALCS, Toronto and Seattle tonight. So we're going to break all that down, get some picks on the DraftKings Sportsbook. But first, what's up, Moody? How we doing?
I mean, you couldn't be much better than I am today. We got Game 7 tonight. I mean, I'm incredibly excited. Been a great series so far. Vlad versus Cal Raleigh. Like, what a game we got planned for tonight. And then obviously a great Sunday, great Saturday. It was just a good weekend all the way around, and it all culminates tonight with a double header on Monday Night Football and ALCS Game 7. It really doesn't get much better than this.
Now, and people love to jump on the NFL and hate on Goodell for a lot of stuff, and I get it because he's so easy to not like. But this Monday night doubleheader thing they had going, bravo. Because my biggest beef with the NFL forever has been when you have the freaking 8-9 games at 1 p.m. Eastern, and you can't watch all of them. It's overload. And so, I know it's annoying for the teams, but I like the London thing and the foreign thing to get a game, and then I like the 2 games Monday night. Maybe you've got a little less in that noon window, but whatever. I want more football on TV because we're going to watch it. So I'm actually a huge fan of what they're doing. I love the doubleheader, and can't wait to get into all that. But we got some stuff from the start from the weekend. A lot of stuff to get to. We'll just start. I want to just go ahead and address this from the top. Every single year, big jobs come open in college football, and then Lane Kiffin's name gets floated. It's just a yearly tradition at this point. And I've wasted a lot of my energy the last few years worrying about it. In 2022, he almost went to Auburn. I mean, he was really close when they ended up hiring Freeze. Kiffin's daughter ended up basically reading him the riot act that she wanted to go to Ole Miss. That was her senior year of high school, and that's what convinced him to stay. I was paranoid about the Bama job last year, but they were never interested in him. So that was false, whatever. Well, now Florida firing Billy Napier. Everything I'm hearing, Florida, Kiffin's their top candidate. They're going to throw the bag at him, whatever. I'm done wasting my energy getting worried about this stuff. I'm done. It's every year. I wrote a blog on it. It's the same thing. Look, he's 43-12 since 2021 in the regular season at Ole Miss. You hadn't had a stretch like that since Johnny Vaught since the 60s. So whenever you have success like that at a school that's not a traditional power, this is the life you're going to deal with. Your name's going to come up with openings. And it is what it is. It's a first world problem, but he makes over $10 million a year. He doesn't have to do media stuff he don't want to do at Ole Miss, which you have to do at all these big schools, speaking to boosters, doing all that crap. He doesn't have to do any of that. Ole Miss has big NIL money and can compete, and they have the fan support. His daughter loves it. She's a junior. And then Knox Kiffin, his son's a sophomore backup quarterback at Oxford High. So, look, I'm not naive. I mean, nothing lasts forever. Ole Miss is on borrowed time with him. This is his 6th season, and nobody thought he'd make it that long. And I'm not saying he's there forever, but I'd be shocked if he left before Landry graduated. It's her junior year. That's the one big thing right now, and I just can't see it. I think he's got a great situation, and he's able to compete for the playoff every year, and he's got the resources he needs. And look, I know Florida. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They've won 3 national championships. Steve Spurrier, legendary coach. Urban Meyer won there. I get it. I'm not saying it's not a great job, but I still can't see it in the spot. That's just my thoughts.
This isn't the Ole Miss of 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Like, you guys are competitive every year. The NIL is good. You've become a top program, not just in the SEC, but nationally, it feels like. I mean, obviously you're not quite Florida by any means because of all of
No.
the history with Florida and some of these other teams, but like, it's a good time to be at Ole Miss, and I just feel like Lane Kiffin is a great fit in Ole Miss. Like, I don't see him, like you said, I don't see him leaving the next couple of years. Eventually, maybe it does happen. I think there's a chance you could see Lane Kiffin be there for years, though, to be honest. But obviously,
Well,
we'll see. Money
like I
talks.
said, I think he would have already been gone if it was going to be an in and out deal. And
Yeah.
I mean, I just his relationship with Landry and her keeping him there in 2022. He's not leaving while she's a junior in college. And plus Knox, his son, playing for Oxford High, playing for David Cutcliffe's son's his coach. There's a good chance he's going to start next year, and that's one of the top programs in Mississippi, and so I think that's a good situation too. Anyway, maybe I'm being naive and being a homer, but that's my take. I wanted to address it from the start because that's, the society we live in. It's just all you can hear about is Florida going after Lane Kiffin. Plus, whatever, I'll catch crap from Florida fans and Nikki Smokes, but why would you want to live in Gainesville over Oxford, Mississippi? It's not even close. And I know Florida is a better state than Mississippi in all ways, but Gainesville is a town, it ain't nothing compared to Oxford.
Voodoo just asked an interesting question. Would Lane leave for LSU if Brian Kelly were to leave there?
Yeah, that's the one I'm worried about. That's the one I'm directly worried about because and also on the Landry front, she's dating Whit Week, so she'd probably be way more okay with that than Florida. No, the LSU one is the one that I do worry about. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The LSU situation, perfect timing to segue into that. I mean, is this Brian Kelly's last stand this week? Boy, Moody, you live in Louisiana. I'm obviously from there. I'm close to that program. I know what's up. The vitriol from LSU fans this last weekend, they are so pissed. I mean, and look, this isn't Vandy of the past. I mean, Vandy, hadn't beaten LSU since 1990, but I mean, you're talking about a team that's got a shot to make the playoffs. But don't tell that to the old school LSU fans who have to just lose to Vandy and treat it like it's normal. Because they can't handle it. And once again, this game at Vandy was so similar to the at Ole Miss game where they couldn't stop the run. The defense was on the field the whole time. They got outrushed 242 to 100. Pavia made all the key plays. It really felt like I was watching the mirror image of the LSU 24-19 loss at Ole Miss, and it was 31-24 at Vandy. It was such a similar game. But here's the thing about sports and gambling and life. Right when all your backs are against the wall and everybody's saying this is the end of the BK era, now LSU's a 2.5-point home underdog to undefeated A&M. And everybody, I know what the narrative's going to be all week. This is the end of the BK era. A&M's going to go in there and handle them. I got to see it to believe it. I like LSU. This is the bounce-back spot. I've said this about LSU a lot this year. I think with their defense and Death Valley, they're tough to beat at home, but when they're on the road, the offensive stuff gets exposed. And, I mean, I'm not saying the offense is good at home, but you can hide behind your defense in that crowd at home. You can't do it on the road against good teams. And, A&M's top 5 in the country. I know they're undefeated, but I don't think they're Ohio State or Bama. I don't. And, I mean, they beat Arkansas, good win. Arkansas backdoor covered, but Arkansas still scored 42 points. Notre Dame scored 40 points against them. I mean, I think A&M has a good chance to make the playoff. I'm not saying they're not a good team, but top 5, come on. So but we'll find out everything about LSU's heart, whether this Kelly year is over on Saturday night. Because they lose this game, it really is over. You got at Bama and at Oklahoma. You're looking at a 5-loss season if you lose this game. I think they find a way to pull it out. I'm going to be betting LSU plus 2.5, and I don't think they beat Alabama. That's my thought.
Zach Holt says he thinks LSU upsets A&M this weekend. I tend to agree. The one thing about Brian Kelly in Baton Rouge, they just never fully accepted him. And over the last couple of years, we've heard them calling for his head after almost every single loss, it feels like. I mean, they expect championship caliber teams in Baton Rouge. They have risen to that level. They've lived on that plane for a while now. And if you're not an undefeated team, they're calling for your neck. And that's essentially been what's happened since Brian Kelly has arrived there. But we saw this movie already where it felt like, oh, maybe he loses a game. It could all come up, unravel down the backstretch, and he could be fired. And then his Tigers responded. That's been the case over the last 2 years. It feels like.
Yeah.
So I'm not,
because it felt like it was really going. It felt like it was really going south. Last year, they were 6-1 after they beat Ole Miss, and then they lost at A&M. And then they got smoked at home by Bama, and it felt like it was really going south, and then they kind of rallied at the end. The problem with the Kelly era at LSU, there's a few things to get to. First of all, it's the cultural fit, and that's been talked about on every national podcast and show under the sun. But he's not a South Louisiana guy, and to be honest, I mean, I hear a lot of stuff inside the program. He's really not both feet in. He's always gone. He's in Baton Rouge the minimum amount of time. He's on Martha's Vineyard. He's in Boston. I don't know. He hadn't fully just gone all in with it, I don't think. And I think that's part of the problem. But the thing with Kelly, he's got a $56 million buyout. And I know James Franklin just got paid at Penn State. But, dude, in this day and age, when you got to pay $15 million for your roster, How are you going to give a coach $56 million and then have $15 million more to come up with the roster, plus having to buy a new coach? Like, I know some schools can do it, but, like, that's like 4 years of an elite roster just to buy out the coach. Like, economically, that's not the most feasible. And so when I look at the situation with Kelly, here's the thing with him. They never fall off a cliff where it's like, oh, they're 6-6, you got to fire him. Like, Billy Napier was 22-23 in his 3.5 years of Florida. You got to get him out of there. But Kelly, his first year, they win the SEC West. His second year was 2022. They went, where'd they go second year? Because his first year, no, he came in, it was 2022. His first year, they win the West. His second year, they go 9-3, and Jaden Daniels wins the Heisman Trophy with Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas. But he killed them with the Matt House defensive coordinator hire. They had a national championship offense, and they couldn't stop anybody. They had 700 yards at Ole Miss and lost. And then last year was supposed to be a little bit of a rebuilding year off Luden Daniels and all that. And they got off to that 6-1 start, and it was like a little fool's goal. They ended 8-4, which I thought was a fine year for it. But the thing is with LSU is they put it all into this year. They went all in this year like Ole Miss did last year. They finally got their NIL right. They spent like $15 million on the roster. And they put so much into fixing the defense, and Blake Baker and the defense has been good. I mean, even though they lost to Vandy and Ole Miss, I don't think you put all that on the defense. I mean, those teams are going to score some points. But it's just the offense has been a mess. And Nussmeier's had 3 or 4 injuries. The offensive tackles are horrible. They can't block. They don't have a running game. You've got all this talent at wide receiver. They're not able to push the ball vertically down the field because Nuss is hurt and the O-line can't protect them long enough. And so I get the frustration. But the thing with Kelly, it's like they're never bad enough to fire him. I mean, It's like so hard to fire a guy when you have to pay him $56 million to go away when you're 8-4 or 9-3. You know what I'm saying? It's like he does just enough. And I think that's what's coming again this year, which isn't going to appease LSU fans. But they beat A&M, which I still think they will. That's what's coming. So it's a very interesting situation to watch on the Bayou.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think they probably do what they've done the last couple of years, win a big game against A&M. Everything's fine down the stretch. Maybe even a playoff team. I mean, if they
got to win out.
It's not over for LSU.
Well, here's the thing. It's not over. Look, but they have to win out. And I think they can beat A&M at home, but at Bama, I can't see them winning that on the road right now. I just can't see it. I mean, you never know. You play the game for a reason. And then they have at Oklahoma the last week. So, I mean, I feel like they beat A&M and probably go 8-4 again is what I think's happening. But either way, that's the situation in Baton Rouge. A lot to talk about there. Want to touch on this Ole Miss Georgia game from Saturday. Moody, you watched it. That game was buck wild. Ole Miss scored 5 touchdowns their first 5 possessions and still couldn't win at Athens, falling 43-35. And it was like a lot to, Ole Miss was undefeated going in. Georgia had 1 loss. It was kind of like a weird – I've had 2 days to process the loss. Because at the time, it felt kind of heartbreaking because Ole Miss was up 35-26 late third. And then Ole Miss got the shit kicked out of them in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss had 13 yards. Georgia had the ball the whole fourth. Ole Miss just ran out of gas is what happened. And I thought Chambliss was even tired, which you never really talk about a quarterback being tired in the fourth, but he has to do so much with his legs. I thought he was tired in the fourth. But the defense they held them to field goals twice, but Georgia never punted. No team punted until early fourth. And it felt heartbreaking at the time because Georgia scored the final 17 points of the game. But I've processed it the last couple of days, and you lost on the road to Georgia by 8 when you were a 7-point dog. You scored 35 points. I mean, it's not a bad loss. It's still all in front of Ole Miss. I think it just felt like it hurt more because they were winning by 9 late third, and you thought they actually could win it. But it's still all in front of the Rebels. But now you got to turn around in a tough spot. Because second straight road game, the week after you play Georgia or Alabama is always tough in general because how physical those games are. And you got an 11 a.m. kickoff as a 4-point underdog at Oklahoma. And it's all on the line for Ole Miss on Saturday, Moody. Because you win this game, you got 1 loss, and you got a weak schedule in front. Playoffs are happening. You lose this game, you got to win out and maybe even get help. And there's a gun to your head. I mean, this game is everything Saturday. So, we'll get into that more as this week goes. But it's a lot. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a tough loss, especially when they played. I mean, I thought Ole Miss played a really good game. Vandy beating LSU, BYU taking care of business against Utah was a big win, and I mean, Texas got it
Yeah,
done, so
there's a
they're
bunch.
still alive technically, but like, it was a pretty good day of college football on Saturday, and obviously Ohio State rolled once again. They're the real deal
Yeah,
now to
Ohio
me.
State and Bama to me, and I know Indiana's rolling
Yeah.
too, but the Ohio State and Bama to me, I mean, Bama blew Tennessee out at home, and like this
Mhm.
Bama team's turned into just a total war machine. I mean, they just
But
look
that's how
so.
quickly things can change. That's how quickly things can change in college football. They're calling for your head coach's head after one loss. When you have established such a level that you're going to play for a national championship, you're going to potentially be an undefeated team every year. One loss and the fan base becomes unsettled, unhappy with the head coach, and they just got to let things play out. This new NIL era, it's different, it's crazy, and this is kind of the world we live in now, where everything needs to be instantaneous. Everybody's got these damn TikTok brains. They can't let anything develop and play out over time and let these coaches do their job. So you're seeing it right now. I feel like Alabama is the perfect example of just give your head coach a little bit of time, especially when you've spent the money, you've got the blueprint, like just let it play out. And then if things don't go according to plan at the end of the year, you can start talking then. But it's just this is what college football is now. So I've accepted it. I think for me, it's made me a little less interested in college football, but it's the world we're living in now. So it is what it is.
See, I actually think it's more interesting because you don't see Bama and Georgia, like Bama and Georgia are now vulnerable. Because like I always
Yeah, of
hate
course.
when Bama won all those titles and no one could beat them, and then you saw the Georgia War Machine those couple of years. Like I love this because now the SEC has parity and anybody can beat each other, and it's fascinating to see what happens. So,
I
but
guess I meant more so from the fan perspective, like just the way the fan bases act. So everything's got to be so instantaneous. You're right though. We're seeing teams like Texas Tech spend all that money. We thought they were just going to roll through the Big 12. They get beat by Arizona State. So like these teams are just simply not as deep as they used to be. You know what I mean? But teams like Texas Tech can now spend that money and become a top 10 team. So there's a lot of nuance to it that we just haven't had before. It used to just be same 4 to 6 teams every year. So that does make it exciting. I just hate the instantaneous need from the fan bases. I guess that's
yeah,
my thing.
I got a couple more quick points from college football this weekend. You brought up Texas Tech. Miami and Texas Tech both going down after we basically anointed them both the champions of their conference. I mean, it was
Yeah.
like assumed. And the Miami thing first, that was Friday night. Louisville got them. I'm mad at myself that I didn't snuff that out because, like, every time we buy into the U being back, this always happens. How many times has this got to happen? Like, oh, Miami's back, and like we buy into it, and then this happens. Like, Cristobal's a terrible in-game coach. He's proven that for years. And I don't know. I was just watching that game, and I was just like, why did I buy into this? And shout out, by the way, if you haven't watched him yet, because Moody, you're a fantasy football guy. Louisville receiver Chris Bell, dude.
Yeah, he's a
He is
stud.
like an A.J. Brown clone. He's 6'2", like 220, and he's actually from Yazoo City, Mississippi. He's projected as a top 3 receiver in the Sears NFL draft. Moody, if you have not watched this guy play, go watch the tape. He
I saw the
freaky.
highlights of him. Yeah.
Oh God, he like I said, he reminds me of A.J. Brown. That's the comp.
hmm
But
Yeah. Big body, lot of speed.
yeah, man, the plays he made in that game, incredible. And Jeff Brom, he's like over 500 against top 5 teams now. It's crazy. He's like the anti James Franklin. And then the Texas Tech thing, Morton, the quarterback, got hurt. But credit to Kenny Dillingham, who won the Big 12 title at Arizona State last year. They had the loss to Mississippi State early, kind of weren't playing as well. Levitt, the quarterback, had been hurt. They came back. They got a huge win here, and everybody kind of written them off. And now, they're right there for that Big 12 championship too. And you just can't say enough about the job he's done there. But those are kind of my biggest observations. I thought Notre Dame looked really good, beating USC 34-24. I thought that was a good win. I think Notre Dame's got a good playoff shot now if they win out. And they really, their toughest game left is at Pitt. So they should probably do that. And then, good week of football, though. Good week. The one thing I do want to pump my chest out, I was so wrong about South Carolina against Oklahoma. And that's, you know me, hand up when I'm wrong. I admit it. But I was so right about the Stanford Florida State thing. That was a plus 6-1 money line. I was telling people all week, I was like, Florida State can F this up. And they did. And I don't know. So that was kind of the thing I got right. But next, we'll get into the games more on Thursday. Next week, Ole Miss at Oklahoma, LSU at A&M, definitely the two. And then we got to talk about, actually, before we get out of this, the Diego Pavia thing. We can't not give Vandy love because we're in a world now where Vandy's 6-1, and game day's going to Missouri Vandy next week, and Pavia's 8-1 to win the Heisman. If they go 10-2 with the schedule they got Missouri at home, they play Auburn, they play Kentucky, they got at Texas, at Tennessee. I mean, they're going to lose at least one. But if they can go 10-2 and make the playoffs, he's the Heisman Trophy winner. I know Julian Sands awesome, and I know Ty Simpson's awesome. But if you win 10 freaking games at Vandy and you get them to the playoffs, I don't give a shit who's the quarterback for Ohio State or Bama. Like, that's a story that'll never happen again. But I really think if he goes 10-2, he wins the Heisman. And he's like, yeah, I mean, he's 8-1 now, so we'll see.
Yeah, he's got that Johnny Manziel feel to him where he's carrying a team. He's got the swagger. He's got Johnny Manziel actually on the sidelines cheering for him and stuff. So like,
that's his idol too. It's cool.
It's cool to see doing it at a school like Vandy that's just been stepped on by the SEC for so long. Their fan base deserves it. They're a really easy story to cheer for. He's an easy story to cheer for. Like they're a really fun team right now. But kind of like when Manziel was at A&M. They would win some big games, and then they drop a couple, and you just realize that overall their talent wasn't a national championship team. You know what I mean? And so that kind of feels like what Vandy is right now. Like you said, I think they lose one, possibly two of those games down the stretch. But if Pavia goes and proves himself, they only lose one of those. They become not only a playoff contender, he probably is the Heisman. I mean, it's a fun story nonetheless.
Yeah, I think they got to win all of them in front of them now because that at Tennessee at the end of the year, I don't know if they can win that. I don't know if they can outgun Tennessee. Tennessee at home is a different deal in front of that crowd and the way they can score. So, but yeah, we'll be watching that close. All right, let's hit some NFL from yesterday. Big day of pro football. Few things that stood out. The fourth quarter of the Giants-Broncos game yesterday. And, like, people always say you're prisoners of the moment, and I'm bad about that because I exaggerate everything. I get that. That's the wildest damn fourth quarter I've ever seen. Denver had no points going into the fourth and scored 33 points in that fourth quarter. I mean, they scored 33 freaking points when they were getting shut out going to the fourth. And then the sequence of events, like Jackson Dart's the dude. I mean, everybody already knew it. But, I mean, against that Denver defense, you and me talked about how tough of a matchup that was without Neighbors, and we're like, look, this is the welcome to the NFL rookie game. He's going to struggle. He goes out and throws for like 280, 3 touchdowns, runs for a touchdown, ran for that touchdown at the end to, possibly get him the win, but then they missed that extra point and they scored too soon, and Denver got that field goal at the gun, and he did throw the interception that got Denver back in the game, but still, I mean, I know it's frustrating you lost that game for Giants fans, but, like, come on, man. I'm just dying that he's not a New Orleans Saint. I mean, what he's doing, it's incredible. The juice he's giving that franchise.
In my opinion, it was one of the most impressive jobs that a quarterback has done this year. We talked about it a lot last week, that game in particular, just what it would mean for the Giants and for Jackson Dart. Even if he played well, which he certainly did. I mean, 15 to 33, 283 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He ran for another. Like, he balled out, and he put them in a position to win that game if the defense took care of their end of the bargain. You know what I mean? So, like,
dude, they scored 32 points on the road against one of the best 3 Denver defenses in football.
Elite stuff from him. That was the only game that I missed last week. I did have Denver covering that. I thought Denver was going to kick the shit out of them.
No, I did too. That was my thing. I thought that was a game that was like, hey, like, this is the welcome to the NFL rookie deal. Like, he's still going to be fine, but this one's going to be tough. And that was the only one that got me last week. But I'm okay with it because it was a hell of a game. It was exciting to watch. It was worth losing a bet over watching that incredible fourth quarter. You know what I mean? No doubt. I want to say over the weekend, I went to the Ole Miss watch party. It was fun. Saturday at Theory. Sunday, great time with the Barstool Chicago Stretch pod crew. T-Bob, Megan, and me with White Sox Dave, Chief, and Eddie. Awesome time at Timothy O'Toole's. The football game sucked. I mean, what a just shit fest that Saints-Bears was.
Terrible game. Yeah.
Terrible. But, I mean, what I say, I'm a Saints fan. When you expect nothing, you can't really be let down. I don't know what else to say on that front, but the Bears won 4 in a row. That was fun. And then that Green Bay-Arizona game was real interesting, too, late.
Yeah, I didn't think the Bears didn't look great. They took care of business. They beat a bad Saints team. They didn't look great. Saints looked even worse though. Like Spencer Rattler finally came back down to earth. He finally came down to be what we expected him to be, a turnover machine. He'd been playing way above his head for the first 6 weeks of the season. That all came crashing down in week 7 against the Bears. So good win for the Bears. It's another win. It's 4 straight. I didn't think they looked convincing while doing it, but it's a good win nonetheless. Everyone in the NFL is crucial, and they're a playoff team currently. You know what I mean? So good win for them. Green Bay, Arizona was a sensational game. We said this last week or I said this, that I thought the the Cardinals looked better with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback than Kyler Murray. It just feels like he can run the offense a little bit more efficiently. I know Kyler's legs are better and he can create and extend plays and stuff, but it just feels like that is a better offense with Jacoby Brissett running the show there. And to do that, to keep that game competitive against what I think is one of the best defenses in the NFL, highly impressive. Got to give Micah Parsons a ton of credit, though. He was
Oh, 3
loose
sacks,
in
dude,
that game.
yeah.
Good God. And he was creating more havoc than just those sacks. That son of a gun was playing.
No doubt. A couple other quick NFL points I got to make. We were all over Cleveland, Miami. We hit that game as hard as you can hit a game. We were on the Judkins 2 touchdowns. We were at Cleveland -2.5 was my bet of the week. I mean, we killed that game. And then the thing, you and me talked about the Dak Prescott thing this year. Dallas has played 3 home games this year and scored over 40 all 3 times. And getting CD back with George Pickens, I mean, this offense, Javonte Williams, who I hated on, is averaging like 6 or 7 yards a carry. I mean,
told you.
Yeah, you did. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, they're 3-3-1, but I mean, imagine if they had Micah Parsons out there on defense. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because the offense is just Dak has a legit MVP case, and I know that they're 3-3-1, but I mean, it's just incredible how good he's played. And then last night, the Christian McCaffrey thing. I mean, you know, a lot of us, including me, thought his career might be over with all the injuries he had last year. With that tendonitis in his leg and all the stuff he was going through, and he's back to MVP form. I mean, he was the one-man gang in that game last night. Incredible.
Yeah, I want to go back to that Browns game. Obviously, we talked about it. Play defense, run the ball with Judkins. 25 carries. I think he had more carries than any player in the NFL, and that's kind of been the case since he's taken over. He had 1 more carry than Christian McCaffrey did last night. I mean, obviously he wasn't super efficient. He had the 48-yard touchdown run. The conditions were nasty. The Dolphins knew that Dylan Gabriel wasn't going to try and throw it down the field. They stacked the box for the most part, but Judkins still took care of business, and their defense did their part. 3 interceptions for Tua in that game. I had Tua 2+ picks on my card. I mean, just it felt like one of the best bets of the entire week. So, love to see the Browns get a win. Dylan Gabriel, we'll see. Like I think he can run the offense, but it's not gonna make them a playoff team. So eventually, we're gonna see Shadur. It's gonna have to happen at some point. 'Cause I don't think Dylan is the solution, but good win for the Browns. They needed it. Obviously, the Dolphins suck, but it's a nice win for them. Good to see Judkins get going, and then the Cowboys. They feel like a playoff team, Mintz, and maybe I'm crazy.
Dude,
here.
they can score. No, I mean, it's just so frustrating. You lose that
so
Carolina
good.
game last week,
So
man.
good.
Just so frustrating because you should be 4-2-1.
I know. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I need to temper my expectations because losing to the Panthers is god awful. But then they come out and take care of business against the Commanders. Even when Jaden was playing, I know the Commanders were beat up at receiver, but the Cowboys played what I thought was their best game of the entire season. So
Oh, no, they
kinda
beat their
feel like
ass. No, they did.
yeah,
they beat their ass.
like I'd rather be the Cowboys right now at 3-3-1 than I would be the Bears at 4-2.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the Cowboys have the best offense in football, maybe, so I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying on that front. All right, we got a lot of fun stuff, Chad, if you got anything far away, but I want to get into tonight. We got some great stuff here to get into. First of all, DraftKings, don't forget, King of the End Zone's back tonight. $2 million in bonus bets paid out. Opt in. Put $5 on whoever you think is going to have the longest touchdown in the 2 Monday night games. Don't forget to do it, though. Got to do it. Unbelievable promotion, giving out $2 million. So make sure you opt in for that. We'll go ahead and hit the Monday night, and then we'll hit the Major League Baseball because we got to talk about the Ohtani game the other night, too. All right, Monday night, first game, we got Detroit -6, 54.5 against Tampa. Battle of the top of the NFC. Interesting game here. All right, Tampa, Mike Evans is going to be back off the hamstring injury. They haven't announced whether Igbuka, there you go.
Igbuka, there you go.
Yeah, there you go, is going to play or not. His props are up. I can't see him playing with a hamstring injury 1 week off, though. I'd be surprised if he played Because I just don't think this game, unless Tampa's really worried about getting the 1 seed, I don't think this is a must-win for the Bucks. It's 5-1 start with Bucky out and Godwin out and him being and Ibuka being hurt. Like, and Detroit, after that loss to KC, this is kind of a must-win for them Monday night at home. And so because of that, I feel like I like Detroit. But when you look at this matchup, Detroit's got a lot of DBs out. Brian Branch is suspended.
All of them.
Yeah, Terry and
their
Arnold's out.
DBs.
Yeah. I mean, you're without like your top 3 or 4 DBs. And the way Baker's cooking with Evans out there, and, that's scary. Detroit does have McNeil and DJ Reader back, so the run defense should be good. But, I mean, Tampa's going to throw. And on the other side of it, Tampa's got a good run defense but not a great pass defense. And I think Goff and Monra and Jameson Williams could cook. So I think we got a really entertaining game. I like Detroit in this game, even at 5-6. I just think you're going to be a lot of points, and I think they can cover 6 with, in a 38-27 type game, 34-24, something like that. That's what I think's coming.
My favorite bet in this game is the over, just because so many DBs are out for the Lions, but the Lions score a ton of points at home. This just feels like a classic shootout that even if the Lions play from ahead the majority of the game, Tampa Bay is going to stay in it because of Baker's ability to sling the football. So that's kind of how I think tonight's going to go. The Lions do win this game. I do think they cover, but over 53.5 is something that I like even more. I think this is going to be a game where both quarterbacks show out. Mike Evans, as much as I don't need him to have a big game, will probably have a big game. I personally am cheering against Mike Evans tonight as hard as I've cheered against any player this entire season for fantasy purposes. But I think this is a really unfortunate thing that the Lions have everybody out. Evans is going to cook. Ibuka, I think he'll play a little bit. I think it's going to be more of a decoy. I like Tez Johnson to make a long play tonight, though, Mintzy.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now. We got, as our good friends DraftKings, we always have our profit boost that we love, and I did not hit any parlays.
Yeah, and Chadwick Moff wanted us to put together a Monday night parlay, so I think we throw something together here.
I do too, and I kind of think we can do it across the 2 games, but I just don't have much I like prop-wise in that Houston-Seattle game. The over-under's 41.5. I mean, I kind of like the first half under, the game under, but it's just not. There's just not a lot there I like. But the Detroit game, I mean, I already like Detroit. Do you like the? You said you like the over. 54.5 so high. For sure.
53.5 so high, but I mean, Vegas is telling us what's going to happen. So honestly, I like the over in that one and the under in the other one. Because I think
do you want to go? Okay, we're going to put one together here. Do you want to go Detroit -6 too, or just the over?
Whatever you think. I like both. I do think Detroit covers. So
okay, that's fine. All right, we're gonna run through the props. Jared Goff's over under is like 270 tonight. I think he goes over. I think Goff's gonna have like 300, 320. Because I think Tampa's got that good run D, and Detroit's gonna be chunking it. And Detroit's just a different offense in that dome. We've seen them at KC and at Green Bay get slowed down a little bit this year. That doesn't happen in the dome, and I think it's just a different deal. So I'm looking at Goff's over, maybe. Let's see, him over 300.
I mean, I always like Jameson Williams in the dome.
No, I agree. No, let's go that route. Let's go that route. Jameson, all right, over 60 yards is plus 119. I mean, dude, I'm a J-Mo believer. I know we shoot for the moon with them at home, but I'm just going to keep doing it. What do you think about over 80 at plus 245?
Run it.
All right. So we got J-Mo over. So right now, we got J-Mo over 80 plus 245. Do we like J-Mo plus 180 touchdown? He used to be plus 230. Odds have come down on him.
I mean, I do.
All right.
Because the thing with him, if he goes over 80, probably one of those is a long touchdown.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So right now, I'm looking on here. Detroit -6, J-Mo touchdown over 80 and over 54.5, 16-1 without the boost. That's a good start.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
And with the boost, it's plus 1920.
I mean,
do you want to
pretty good parlay?
Like, I love Amon-Ra as a player, but it's just like, I mean, he scores touchdowns all the time. He's great, but the -125 touchdown thing, I hate it. And he'll probably score.
Yeah. I like him. I like his catches in this game. I think he'll probably have a decent amount of catches. Like, I think if you're sending J-Mo over the top and you're getting Amon-Ra on the short to intermediate.
Stephen Shea liked Laporta tonight. Says the Bucs have trouble.
I can see Laporta too. Tampa Bay's does give up yards to tight ends. I can see that. What's up, Chad? If y'all got any ideas that y'all like tonight, throw them out there. Zach said he's got 2 parlays alive tonight. He needs an Evans touchdown and a JSN touchdown, or neither of them hit. I could see Evans getting in the end zone as much as I don't want him to
The only thing with
personally.
Evans is I wonder what his snap count's going to be tonight. Like I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah, I hear you.
are they going to really send him out there for 65 snaps tonight? I don't know.
hmm
I mean, I'm saying he'll play, but
Do you have anything you like from the other game? Because I don't. I mean, I kind of like the Texans. I like the under in that game.
yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be ugly. I like the
Yeah.
under. I like 41. The Houston offense on the road's just been miserable. I know they played better at Baltimore because they got the turnovers and blew them out, but I just hate that offensive line. I come back
Maybe
to
we
it.
don't get greedy. Maybe we don't get greedy and we just throw out the Bucks Lions one, and then we take the under.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
going to
we've
take
already
the
got a
under
lot. I mean, we
individually.
could throw the under in add that under 41.5 in for one thing, but I kind of want to keep it a little more simple because, this is a 3-leg parlay on the boost.
hmm
So,
I
okay.
like that, and then we just I'm gonna throw the Texans and Seahawks in separately. Just
Yeah, do
a
different.
single bet under
Okay. So,
41
all
and a half.
right. Well, let's review it. Right now, we got 4. We got Detroit -6, over 54.5, JMO over 80, and a touchdown plus 1920. My question is, do we? Let me see what.
Throw
Let me see.
golf on there, right?
I had
Over 300.
We can. Let me see if that adds much. It knocks it up to 2880. That's 5 legs though. That's a lot. Do we knock? Do we?
It is a lot.
Do we take off the over Detroit? Maybe.
I like the over more than I
Okay.
like the Detroit, but that's just me personally.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that because Tampa could easily cover. All right, let me see if I
100%
take
they
off.
could.
Let me take off Detroit and add the over. I'm messing with it with the golf 300. I like the golf 300 though. What do you think? I think he's gonna chunk it.
He's gonna chunk it. Yeah.
All right. So that hurts it. We need Detroit in it. It's only plus 1440.
Throw it on there. Fuck it. Run it. Excuse me. Let's run it.
So keep the over or no?
Put them both on there. Let's
So
just 5-leg it. Why not?
5-leg
Let's
it
5-leg it.
plus 2760 with the boost.
Let's do it.
All right. There it is. The parlay. I'm reading it out. Golf over 300, Detroit -6, over 54.5, JMO touchdown, JMO over 80.
I'm running it.
I'm running.
I'll put it in as soon as we finish.
All right, I'm putting it in right now.
And then I'm also going to take Texans Seahawks as a solo under 41.5.
All right, plus 2760. That's what we got. I like it. I put
I'm with
20
it.
to win.
I'm with it.
20. I put 20 to win like over 500 on it.
Crudis says Jeej Abu Indian cricket player over 3.5 hits. All right.
That's funny. All right, let's. Do you have anything on Houston, Seattle other than liking the under? Because
Maybe Houston sacks in this game, but I really don't. I don't have a strong read on that game. I do think it's going to be somewhat of a defense. Like Houston's defense is good, they really are, and they're coming off a bye week. I could see Houston winning this game personally. I really could. I
Yeah.
think they could win it outright.
all right.
But I think if they're going to win it outright, their defense needs to play really well, and I think they will.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We could do a Houston one too. All right. Let's just go Houston money line and under. That's 2 already. It's only plus 325 though, which isn't great.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to take under 41.5 and just roll with that personally.
All right. Cool.
The Bucks
I think
secondary, not necessarily the Brum was asking if the Bucks secondary is good or not. I mean, they've been exposed a few times this season.
the Bucks
so.
have been the same defense for years, where they're tough up front against the run and they allow a lot of passing yards. I mean, that's what this year has been.
And look, part of this theory is just how good the Lions' offense plays at home on that turf. Like J-Mo's so quick on the turf.
Yeah,
Golf gets
too.
it going when they're at home. I mean, I always bet the Lions at home. I fade them on the road. That's been my theory with the Lions for 3 straight years now. So I'm sticking with that here. I think we're gonna get a high scoring affair.
All right. I like it. Yeah, and then I'm just going to bet the under in the other game. All right, let's hit MLB. Before we get into this game 7, we got to pay our respect to Shohei Ohtani. Because what happened Friday night, like, I've watched sports my entire life. The 3 for 3, 3 homers and a walk, 6 2/3, 10 Ks, no runs. That's the greatest game of all time. 2 hits,
Yes.
3 walks.
Yes, it is. It's the greatest game of all time. And I mean, how many times have you heard me say you're watching the greatest baseball player to ever play the game right now? And when I used to say that, you used to get some dissenters, some non-believers, some heretics out there that didn't believe Shohei Ohtani was the greatest player to play the game. There's very few voices that are going against that now. I mean, people are realizing what they're witnessing. To see him do that on the biggest stage, I realized they were up 3-0. Like, if you want to find things to nitpick about the series or whatever, fine, that's on you. That performance was one of the greatest games, if not the greatest game ever played in any sport ever, period. Stud. I mean, I'm not even a Dodgers fan, but if you can't realize what you're watching, then you're an idiot, to be honest with you.
No
Kid is
doubt.
incredible.
The
Absolutely incredible.
Dodgers waiting on the winner. Let's hit this game 7. Dude, what an awesome series this Mariners Jays has been. Dude, it's just been back and forth. Seattle wins the first 2 at Toronto. Toronto wins the next 2 at Seattle. Seattle wins game 5. Toronto fights back, wins game 6. Vladimir Guerrero, I mean, dude, he's hit, I mean, just total superstar. He's hit a home run. It feels like he's hit a home run almost every game.
And what's really cool about this series, and really kind of the playoffs in particular this year, the stars are rising to the occasion, especially in this series. You've had Cal Raleigh, who I think is the MVP in the American League, stepping up, helping the Mariners when they've needed him most. Julio Rodriguez has had some big moments. The trade that the Mariners made midseason to get Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez showing up, paying off in the postseason. Suarez with a huge game in Game 5 to push it to 3-2 Mariners at the time. Like, it's just been really, really incredibly fun to watch. And then, of course, Vladimir Guerrero. And Vladimir Guerrero is the reason that I think the Blue Jays win this game tonight. And one of the least talked about trades at the deadline, because he was injured at the time, was the Blue Jays acquiring Shane Bieber.
Oh, yeah, no, and I loved it at the time.
On the hill. Yeah, and he is on the hill for the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays win this game. I don't know about an over-under, to be honest with you. I think both pitchers do pitch well, but it's a game where I expect the offenses to grind out some at-bats. I think the Blue Jays advance to play the Dodgers in the World Series because of Shane Bieber, because of Vladimir Guerrero.
They lit up. This is a matchup from Game 3, and they lit Kirby up in Game 3.
Yeah, they did. And I'll tell you what, look, if I'm the Mariners, I'm just walking Vlad in this game, especially if there's nobody on. Like, this is my thought coming in. Obviously, Vlad hits 3-hole. Those first 2 at-bats right off to begin the first inning are so big. You need to get those first 2 out so you can just walk Vlad. If you give up a hit or a walk to one of those first 2 guys, then you have to pitch to him. There's a real potential that the Blue Jays could jump on them early if they have to face Vlad with a man on. I'm walking him. Every time I can walk him in this game, I'm treating him like Shohei Ohtani. I'm treating him like Barry Bonds. I'm not going to let Vlad beat me in this game if I'm the Mariners. If things work out that way, the Mariners can win this game. If they have to pitch to him, I think there's a really, really good chance the Blue Jays are playing the Dodgers next week or later this week.
I lean Toronto minus. I mean, I don't know anything. I just take Booty's baseball picks. I'm always real transparent about it. But I would lean Toronto. But I've always been a Bieber truther, so I like Toronto minus 132 a little bit here.
And look, I don't want to count the Mariners out. They're a great baseball team. They've been scrappy. They got Cal Raleigh. Kirby's a really good pitcher as well. Like, this is a great pitching matchup. You couldn't ask for anything better in a Game 7. I just think the Blue Jays, especially at home, the Rogers Center has never seen a Game 7 before. It's been raucous. It's been rowdy. I think the Blue Jays are prepared for this. Vladimir Guerrero becoming the superstar that we always thought he was going to be. He's been a star in the game. Do not get me wrong. Been one of my personal favorite players. But now he's showing everyone, like, hey, this is why I was talked about the way I was. Coming up through the minors and, why they spent all that money to get him into the system originally. Like, it's just really cool to see. Bankin Man, excuse me. He said, "Can someone tell me the Lions game parlay?"
We'll repeat it. Lions minus 6, over 54.5. Jamison Williams over 80 and a touchdown, and Golf over 300 at over 27-1. That's the parlay with a 20% boost on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Andrew Hammer says, "What up, Mintzy? Saw you at Chicken on a Stick LSU weekend. Hottie toddy. Mariners in the over tonight? Question mark."
I lean Blue Jays.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
And
we
like I
both lean
said,
Blue
what I
Jays here.
say in baseball, like I'm always a transparent guy. I just what Moody says is what I think because he knows everything about it, and I'm no baseball expert.
And look, I lose bets sometimes too. Like yes, I'm
No, of
predominantly a winner, but I
course.
do lose sometimes too. That's part of the game. That's why we love gambling. If you won every time, you would enjoy it. But this is a great game. This is a great game. I'm just telling you what I think. And again, I really legitimately believe Nathan Lucas and George Springer, their at bats early in this game, every time in front of Vladimir Guerrero, that's going to determine the game. Because if you have to pitch to Vlad, you're in real trouble if you're the Mariners. If you have a chance to walk him with 2 outs, then maybe you can get out of that inning pretty easily. So that's my main takeaway from this. I do think that the Mariners have a slightly better bullpen. It's both pens are decent. I love Andres Munoz. If the Mariners have a lead going into the game late, I think they will close it out because their bullpen is really locked down.
All right, there you have it. Some Barstool stuff. Barstool After Dark tomorrow night. Basketball challenge, the Rico and Titus and Tate will be a hell of a lot of fun, for sure. I was in the Barstool After Dark weekly meeting earlier. It was pretty funny. They pulled me. I guess I'm part of the weekly meeting now. Good.
We have one more thing. What are the toppings that we get on our pizzas? From
Okay.
Chadwick
So
Moth.
that's an interesting. Like as I've gotten old, when I was a kid, you like want the meat lovers, but when you get old, you realize like you want less is more. Like I like a margarita pizza, or I do like the gluten free at Nancy's here. Shout out Nancy's gluten free thin crust. It's amazing in Chicago. And I'll do like half cheese and half onion. As weird as that sounds, I like onions on my pizza. But I've kind of turned into more of a cheese guy and like a less is more on pizza guy. What about you?
I love cheese. I'm a huge cheese fan. So I like two different kinds. I am strongly, heavily in favor of pineapple on pizza.
Okay.
I love a Hawaiian pizza.
I like it
I
too.
legitimately think Johnny's Hawaiian pizza is the best pizza that I've ever had.
No,
Like I think Johnny's pizza
There's a
is just
Louisiana
the
shout
best.
out.
It's a Louisiana thing, yeah. But I still think Hawaiian pizza is really good. And then I like a classic meat lovers. I also get onions on my pizza, but like a plain pepperoni, perfectly fine with me. I'll do plain pepperoni. Something I do occasionally is I'll get barbecue sauce instead of marinara on mine.
Okay.
So that barbecue sauce, chicken, onions, and bell
Yeah, the
peppers.
barbecue
That is
chicken
something
pizza
I
is
do
pretty
sometimes
good.
too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like a
yeah. But
sausage and
my
onion.
favorite's Hawaiian.
I like a sausage and onions pizza too, and that's a classic Chicago one right there. That's one I like as well.
Stone Papa Smurf says pepperoni mushroom.
Uh,
I've eaten
I,
mushrooms on
I hate
pizza,
I hate
but
mushroom. I
not the
just don't like
traditional
eating
kind.
mushroom. I don't like eating mushrooms. That's like
Definitely.
the one food that it's like, hey, you gotta eat that. Just they gross me out.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of mushrooms either, for the most part.
Yeah.
He also said nice call Mincy on Georgia Tech.
Yeah. We hit that. Well, the thing was, I was on that Stanford against Florida State, but then there was a lot of bad calls this weekend too. So I'm not going to sit here and be like chest out like I knew everything because I didn't have
Yeah,
the best.
I
I
will
did
say
not
for the
have the
most
best
part,
game in the league.
outside of a couple games though, we're pretty much on top of it. I mean, I feel like especially in the NFL, we gave out nothing but winners except for one game. So
Yeah, I was
um,
on Cleveland and Cowboys big NFL, and then I had the under. I was on that under last night too, which is easy winner. Easy.
the one thing I'm mad about is I said it right here. I said the Chiefs were going to beat the crap out of the Raiders.
You said they
They
would win by
did.
27.
I was gonna alt it to like 27 and throw like a half unit on there, and I didn't do it. So that was the one mistake that I made this weekend. Obviously, I had the Broncos too, but outside of that, we had a pretty good weekend. Good for us. And look, I understand we don't have the most viewers here. We're not the funny guys. I totally understand that. But
We
as far
dropped the
as just
sports
dropping
knowledge though,
winners,
bro.
I'll put us toe to toe with anybody as far as just picking freaking winners, giving out ball knowledge. We've been on top of it for 2 years straight. The numbers prove it for that at least.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, shout out chat. Love you guys. We're going Mondays and Thursdays during football, which I love. With Thursday night football, Monday night. That's kind of the plan moving forward. But yeah, let's get this money tonight. Let's watch some good sport. What you laughing at?
I got a couple of things here still. Stone Papa Smurf said, "Yeah, Mint, you don't eat mushrooms." Sure.
What are you
What's
trying to
the
say?
go-to for football? Pizza, wings, or something else?
Man,
What's your go-to for?
man, I mean, I'd probably say, I mean, pizza or wings, but the good pizza, like,
Mhm.
I mean, I try to not eat. act as I say, not as I do. I'll go ahead and say this too. I did so good not hitting the cream team ice cream all year, and then I've fallen off a cliff recently, dude. Having that ice cream, I'm an ice cream sucker, and like I literally didn't eat it for like 3 months this summer, and then this weekend, I mean, I hit it Thursday night, Friday, and Sunday, dude. It's so good. You make your own toppings. Shout out Zach and Jacob, the cream team. I mean, I'm back off it today. We just had a terrible health weekend, but we're on the black coffee water again today, getting back on the right track. We're having hit the.
Are you a bone in or like boneless chicken wings guy?
I'm a bone in. I'm a classic guy. You got to go bone in.
Okay.
To me, you got to go classic. I do like some wings.
Yeah, I prefer no bone personally. Mintzy, any preseason Rebs basketball thoughts? About to head to the Square Jam basketball event.
They're gonna be really good, real good.
Yep.
Like I'm incredibly encouraged. Up front with James Scott transferring from Louisville along with Dia, they do have to replace some guards, but they feel pretty good about it. I think they're gonna be as good or better than last year. I mean, I think there's another shot at another Sweet 16 Elite 8 team. And if the guard play, there's potential there. Like up front, I think Scott and Dia and Corey Chess are going to be really good. I think they're going to be way better up front. But if the guard play, they got A.J. Storr, who played at Wisconsin and Kansas. He had a horrible year at Kansas, but he was really good at Wisconsin a couple of years ago. If he comes on and can average 15 to 18 a game, which I think he can, I think it'd be really, really good. Like, I'm incredibly optimistic.
I think you are. I mean, obviously, y'all know this, but like you're entering a golden age right now for Ole Miss basketball. That I think I legitimately think as long as Chris Beard doesn't leave,
Oh, yeah.
y'all are going to win a national championship. I truly do believe that. I think.
While we're at it, we got to bring up one other thing, Moody, because it's baseball related. Tony Vitello leaving Tennessee to be the San Francisco Giants manager. Because you don't
Did
see
that
this
ever get confirmed?
Okay.
I saw they were closing in on it.
Okay, maybe it hadn't been confirmed. But if it does happen, I can't remember a college coach ever leaving and getting a major league manager job before. If this happens, it's the first time ever.
Did the Blue Jays coach come from? I'll have to look and see, but I don't. As far as going straight from one to the other, it's very unheard of. It's a big leap. It's just a totally different ball game in the major leagues. A lot of times you'll see a coach from college baseball leave, go be a hitting coach in the minors somewhere, a head coach, manager,
or a pitching coach.
And so, like, straight from one to the next, it is very, very, very rare. So I'm curious.
I don't know if Vitello, who's an unbelievable college coach, unbelievable. I'm not saying anything negative about that. I just don't know that his style like works in major league. Like he's so intense and chest out, and I think that works for college sports. But over a 162 game season with professionals, like is that? I don't know.
And another part of it is like in college, you're doing the recruiting. You have the complete control over your roster. You're bringing in the guys that you want. Sometimes in the major leagues, it's your GM making decisions and money comes into play. Like, hey, we can't get that guy. We got to go with this guy. And that dude may not be a fit for what the coach wants. And so like, there's so many nuances to Major League Baseball that you don't have in college baseball. It's a very difficult transition. As far as his personality, I think he's a fun dude. I think the players will actually like him. I think he's an energetic guy. But if you have a really veteran team, will they respond to some of that? Like there are questions for me with him. I don't think it'll be a smooth transition, but maybe it works out. We'll see. My verdict is out on that, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm glad he's out of. I'm just glad he's leaving Tennessee because of how good he's been. Even though I will say, it's a loss for college baseball because man, Tennessee brought so much attention to college baseball. They just became that heel team that everybody hated. They kind of became like the Yankees of college baseball. And I think that having a villain is great for the sport. So I think that kind of sucks to lose him on that front.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. I don't know if they finished it. I saw they were closing in on a deal, but it is certainly an interesting deal. Mr. McIntosh says, no sauce is messing with some good old Louisiana dry rub with ranch. Sorry, I came in random. Thought I heard something about wings. Oh, you heard something about wings. We were talking wings in here.
I'm a blue cheese. I love what he's saying, except for I'm a blue cheese over ranch guy. Like it's just kind of like you like one or the other, and I'm a blue cheese guy.
Yep. I'll do both. I prefer ranch, but I'm good either way. Jay Johnson, way better coach. Go Tigers. I mean, Jay Johnson.
It's hard
to. You're talking about two best
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue. He's won 2 of the last 3 national titles, and then he made the national championship at Arizona and made the College World Series another time. I mean, it's tough to argue against at this point.
Yep, tough to argue. All right, read the Monday night parlay once again. I've got the Blue Jays winning tonight for the Major League game, ALCS Game 7.
Like and
It's going to be a
subscribe
great game.
too. Appreciate you guys. Hit the like and subscribe button.
Yeah, for sure. And we see you there, Brum. We love y'all in the chat too. Always here.
Yeah, dude. Love how much we interact. We interact with chat all the time now. It's great.
Yep.
We answer everything. All right. The parlay is Detroit -6, over 54.5. Jamison Williams over 80 and a touchdown, and golf over 300. Just Detroit scoring like 38 points is basically the parlay. And it's 27 plus 2760 with the 20% boost on DraftKings. And then Moody and I both are on under 41.5 in Houston, Seattle, and Toronto in Major League. So those are our picks for tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm on Detroit.
Yeah,
Moody likes to be transparent. Moody likes over more, and I like Detroit -6 as far as the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm just a little worried that Baker comes out there and torches that.
Yeah. Well, Baker could also. The other thing
I mean?
with Baker, he also could backdoor you too late. I mean,
He could backdoor us.
Detroit could be up
that's
10, and that could happen too. So
yeah. I'm gonna take the over as a single bet as well, and then I'm gonna run the parlay and run the Blue Jays. So that's what we got for y'all. Appreciate you joining us. I'm gonna get out of here.
We'll see y'all on Thursday.